Hi guys, welcome back to an episode of DB Cars itself, and in today's episode, I'll be reviewing the Toyota Yaris Crossover from GetGo itself. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright then, so yeah, let me just show you guys the overall damages, if there's any, for the Toyota Yaris Crossover. So basically, this car is basically still brand new, but the only thing you're seeing right now is basically the car is extremely dirty itself. So hence, you might see some dirt over it itself. So yeah, but if you guys are wondering what is a Toyota Yaris Crossover, well, it's basically a Toyota Yaris that Toyota has already in their lineup, but they decided to give it an SUV styling, which is basically raising the car slightly higher, and also making the body somewhat bigger itself to make it look like it is it's telling its user it's an SUV and not a hatchback that people know the Yaris for. The Yaris know it, that the Yaris other people know previously itself. So yeah, and if anyone's wondering where the fuel tank is, it's always on the left hand side for Japanese car itself. I could be wrong there, but if I could be correct as well. So it's always on the left, and I think Continental car is always on the right hand side. So yeah, and Korean cars as well. Now let me just show you just the trunk space for the Yaris Crossover. So basically, to access the trunk space, you just need to put your hand under this Toyota emblem, and the trunk space will just open up. So yeah, basically this is the trunk space for the Toyota Yaris Crossover. So basically, storage wise not the best, but I would say probably you could put a large suitcase inside here. Maybe I think probably you could put a large suitcase that fits identically to the dimension of this trunk right here and be just nice. If not, I think you could technically put two medium suitcases right here. Alternatively, you could also put a big suitcase right down at the bottom and two medium suitcases right at the top. Or sorry, one big, one medium. Alternatively, not one big and two medium. That's too, I don't think you could fit it that way itself. So yeah, and moving on, you got some storage space right here. Unfortunately, the storage space, they do not have the net which allows you to place it in securely. So I think when car is turning extremely sharp to the left or right, the things that you place here definitely will be thrown out and into the trunk space, hitting the other stuff that are in this car itself. Other than that, right down below here, you got some other miscellaneous stuff that usually not really relevant, but usually right down below, I think they'll put your spare tire, but unfortunately for this Toyota itself, it does not have it as well. So yeah, that's a downside. To close the trunk back up, it's just very simple. Just need to pull on this and close it itself. Unfortunately, it's not the electronic. It is not the electronic tailgate which you guys saw in my previous video, which is the Auto 3 itself. This is a manual which basically with the strut itself. So to open and close it, you just need to use your hand to close it, to open it and to close it itself. So yeah, right now I'll be showing you guys the rear seat of the car itself. I'll be showing you guys how to access how to have more space in the Yaris itself. So yeah, so basically to put it, to have more space, you just need to press on this lever right here and put it down. And this is your trunk space this is what it looks like when you fold down both the rear seat itself. So yeah, one downside I have to say before I pull this back up is, alternatively, if this was in your regular driving position, the headrest of the rear seat definitely will be hitting the rear of the front seat. So you'll definitely have to adjust it accordingly so that you can put this seat fully flat down. And one flat down, there's also another issue which I have to say will be this rear thing right here. Basically, it's not really a fully flat. It does not really lie fully flat. There's this hump right here which you guys can see if you were to have the trunk open. It's not really fully flat, and when you have stuff loading through, it will definitely be hitting this. So a way that you can at least solve this issue is basically putting an item down below first, then maybe another item right on top of it, so make it a smooth load space, and it's easier to load stuff in and out itself. So yeah, to put it back is quite simple. Just need to pull on this and it will just lock right back in itself. So yeah, so right now I'll be showing you guys the rear seat of the car itself. So let's dive straight into the rear seat of the car, right? Alright then, now let's dive right straight into the rear seat of the Toyota Yaris Crossover. So basically this is basically not my driving position, but basically my driving position wise, I have to say it is not the best for rear passenger itself. Why? There's definitely no leg room space at all, because I think because of the wheelbase of the car that's based off the original Yaris, which is a hatchback, so hence you might have issue with the rear seating itself. So yeah, Headroom wise also not too bad. Headroom, I think I still got a decent amount of headroom. It's only the leg room when if I were to adjust it to my driving position wise, then I have an issue because I don't really have much leg room space itself. So yeah. Moving on to the center, the third row seat. If anyone's wondering, third row is actually not too bad because the transmission down is not really that high. So if you want to actually technically carry 3 people in the rear, it's actually not a problem because you can actually just sit it right in the center. And yeah, but only problem, like what I mentioned, is the leg room wise, which you guys can see right here itself. So yeah, I think carrying 3 full-grown size adults is definitely not recommended because it will be definitely a squeeze and not the best comfort for 3 full-grown size adults in the rear. Maybe kids wouldn't be an issue, but adults definitely will be itself. So yeah. And also there isn't really an armrest in the center, if anyone's wondering, because there isn't really any. If you want to rest your arm on, you basically just need to rest your arm on the door touch right there itself, on the left or the right side itself. So yeah. Other than that, you also don't, I just realized you do not have any grab handle to grab hold or anything. The only place you can grab hold is basically right here itself. So yeah, but you got some cold hook to hook stuff right here on the either side in the rear, and that's it. And also, if you're asking about storage space wise, what do you have for storage space in the rear? Basically, the only storage space you have in the rear is basically this storage space right in the rear for the seat itself, the rear in the rear, and you got this very small cubby space right here itself. So yeah, and also if you want, maybe you can intrude to the cup holders at the front for the front driver and passenger itself. So basically, there's some small space right here itself. If not, then that's all for the rear itself. Lastly, before I end off the rear segment, you also got this light right here, which is like usually standard on all cars itself. So yeah, basically when the doors are open, the light will turn on. If not, you can just turn off manually or turn on manually itself. So yeah, I'll just leave it standard because the doors are open right now. So yeah, other than that, let's move on to the next part right here. And oh yeah, if anyone's wondering how great is the rear cup holder space, well, you guys can see there's the thermal mask inside there, and also well, in grab hold, I think someone left their e-cigarette right here itself. So yeah, don't think that it's legal here. I don't think they want to leave it in this car because I don't know, some people might just report it to authorities itself, and they are definitely be getting into some big trouble. Okay, getting out of the car. Well, I would say the Yaris has more of a like some other cars that I reviewed previously. I think I'm 1.7 meter tall or 1.6. I cannot be certain, but I definitely have a problem getting out of cars that have small openings like this Yaris right here itself. So yeah, not the best for me getting out of the Yaris. Alright then, now let me just show you guys the driver zone right now. So let's go. Alright then, so now let's step right into the driver area for the Yaris Crossover. So basically stepping right into the car itself. One thing, what do you get? Well, basically this is the interior of the Yaris, if anyone is wondering. This is how it looks like. And overall, I would say the interior, I'm not too sure if this is how the regular Yaris interior looks, but I have to say that it's definitely quite unique, and also quite, if you can say this somewhat have some similarities to the Toyota Altis 12th Gen, which I reviewed 2 videos back itself. So that I think basically this infotainment space somewhat have a reminiscent to the Altis 12th Gen or the Corolla Altis 12th Gen that I reviewed previously itself. So yeah, don't close that, it's quite noisy. So yeah, but okay, let me just start straight off with the storage space for this car itself. Basically, storage space, you don't have really have much, but you got a storage bin right here to put your stuff, and not to put your stuff. Basically, there isn't really any stuff in other than the fuel receipt for GetGo itself. Basically, where users refill, and I think usually they just put the receipt inside here. But alternatively, I think this is one of the biggest storage space for this car, other than like these 2 storage bin right here, which I'll show you guys in a moment. This is the biggest one. So if you want to put quite a lot of stuff inside there, the best is to put it right there itself. Moving on, we now move on to the center console of the car itself. So I'll be starting right at the top itself, which is the infotainment screen, which I'll show you guys later on when the car is turned on. But for the time being, I'll just tell you guys the other feature, other part of the car itself. So yeah, basically right down below the infotainment, you got your headlight switch right here, and right beneath, hidden or tucked inside there, you got air vents right here. So basically this is more of the basically like for the center car, usually there will be 2 air vents right in the center. And one thing I really like about the Yaris Crossover is they have this very nice storage bin, if you call it, or ashtray, that you can put your stuff on top here. So that if you want an area where you have quick access to your stuff, you can just grab it right here, rather than like putting right below here and you're looking at the road itself. So basically, this ashtray here or storage bin area is the best part I like about this car so far itself. So yeah, moving right down below, you got your climate control vents and AC control right here. So basically, this is another feature which is, I would say, taken from or had the same similarities to the Toyota Altis 12th Gen, which I reviewed previously. So yeah, basically all this function I'll show you later on again. But if you guys want to know more about it, you can maybe refer to my Toyota Altis video, which I will maybe put it at the end of the video itself. So yeah, moving on, you got your USB Type A port right here to charge the phone. So basically, if you guys want to charge the phone right on top here, you can actually just do so with this port right here itself. So yeah, moving on, we got next storage space right here, which I would say will be this part here. So basically, this is the second biggest, this is the second, you can call it a second or third storage space right in the car itself. So basically, you got if you do not want to put here, you can just put it right here. So like maybe this is like your alternative storage space to put if you do not want to put in your glove box itself. And right tucked inside there, you got a 12-volt socket outlet right there. So basically, you want to charge whatever shit that you want to charge inside there, you can basically just charge it inside there itself. So yeah, alright then, moving on, you got your Just Selector right here, which is very, very explanatory. The only function which you guys see right here is this B mode, which is usually not that common in other cars. Basically, this B mode is basically like the regen function in electric cars itself. So basically, you could technically do 1-foot driving, and if you guys didn't know already, this is technically a hybrid. So when you let go your foot of the accelerator itself, the car actually is basically converting the kinetic energy to sorry, not kinetic energy, basically it is technically charging the hybrid battery in this car itself. And you could actually once there's enough battery in this car itself, technically you could use it, you can drive this car in EV mode itself. So basically, when you press EV mode itself, the car will be fully electric for a few moments before the combustion engine will kick in itself. So yeah, alright then, moving on to the next part, we got your drive selector modes right here. So basically, drive selector mode is only 2 modes which you guys want to know. So basically, it's only power and eco. And on the third press, if you guys were to press it, it's basically just to turn off the driving mode itself. So yeah, moving on, right down below, you got a traction control button, which is just basically to turn off the traction. The EV mode, which I already explained to you guys what it is about. This function right here is your auto brake hold itself. So basically, if you were to press this at a stoplight, if you do not want to put your foot on the brake, you can technically press this and the car will hold it will stop. It will not roll at all, and it will hold its position. It will basically prevent the vehicle from rolling itself. So yeah, right down below the auto brake hold, you got your parking brakes, which, sorry, not parking, your handbrake, your electronic handbrake itself. So basically, to engage it, just pull it. To disengage it, it's very simple. Either you can press down, or you can just engage to gear, and the car will just turn off the electronic handbrake automatically itself. So yeah, right, and moving on, right down below, further down, you got your 2 cup holders, as you guys can see right here, which is quite a decent amount, quite nice space to put your plastic water bottle, or in this case I have, or to put more other stuff, miscellaneous stuff right here itself. So yeah, that's all for the center console itself. Now let me just show you guys the steering wheel. For the steering wheel itself, I have to turn on the car unfortunately, which I'll show you guys later on. But for time being, let me just show you guys if you guys are wondering how do you guys adjust the steering wheel for this car itself. Basically, there's this lever right here which you guys can pull, and the steering wheel basically just drop. You can just basically adjust it according to how you liking, and once done, you can just pull it back up, and it will just basically lock in its position itself. So yeah, and for the seats itself, let me just show you how to do that. Basically, there's these 2 levers right here which you guys can adjust. Basically, this is to adjust the height, this is to adjust the angle of the seat itself. So yeah, alright then, next up, I'll be showing you guys the window switches for the car itself. So basically, if you guys are wondering, these 4 switches right here are for all 4 windows on the car itself. This is to unlock and lock the car itself, or the other way around. This is to prevent the people from rolling down the windows, and you got your folding mirror switch right here if you want to fold it manually itself. And this switch right here is to adjust the mirrors itself. So yeah, other than that, that's all for the buttons on this door, the driver's door itself. You got 2 more buttons, which is very small, not visible under the light itself, which I have to open the doors again, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. But you got this front release button to adjust the front of the car itself. You also got this button right here, which is the auto headlight itself, if you want to have it turn on, or you can just, I'm not too sure what difference between this button right here and this switch right here, which I don't know, I don't really see a difference in it itself. So yeah, but other than that, you got more of your light, this one, I think this is to adjust the angle of your light itself. So I will definitely won't be touching that itself. So yeah, other than that, let me just show you guys the function of the button on the car right now, which I'll have to turn on itself. So foot on the brake itself and turn on the car itself. So basically now the car is technically on now. So yeah, basically when you turn on the car itself, it will basically be on in EV mode itself before the combustion engine will kick in itself. So yeah, but for the buttons on the steering wheel itself, basically it's quite simple. Basically everything on the left here will control the infotainment on the screen right there, and this will control the buttons the screen right in the center itself. So yeah, basically got your volume control switch, basically this switch to adjust that button right there, which I'll show you guys in a moment. You got your voice command, your cruise control buttons right here. This mode I think is to adjust. Okay, I basically just found out what is that for. Basically mode is to adjust the infotainment itself, and you got your lane keeping assist and lane warning assist. It's right there, you guys can see. So yeah, steering assist and lane keeping assist, sorry. Then you got basically this button right here. If anyone's wondering, if you're in cruise control, you can actually adjust how far you want your car to be the car in front of you itself. So yeah, and this is just your switch to control the radio itself. So yeah, let me just show you guys this small screen right here before I just show you guys the big main entertainment screen right there itself. So basically, if I have to press on this button right here, just take a look at the front. Basically, there's a lot of information you want to, if you know more about the car, you can just see it right there, and you just notice that so basically, if you guys do hear what's happening in the background right now, the combustion engine has kicked in. So after a while, the combustion engine will just kick in manually itself. So, and you got eco scores right there, which is quite nice to see itself. So yeah, basically there's quite a lot of information you want to know about the car itself. You can just access it through here itself. So yeah, time being, I'll just leave this here, and let me just show you guys the infotainment screen for this Yaris itself. So if you guys, basically the infotainment screen is touch screen, so basically you can just touch anything and you're able to access it itself. So if not, you can just press on home and you just basically go back to this home button right here. But the menu is just these 4 buttons right here if you guys want to adjust anything in the infotainment itself. For audio, it's basically, if your phone is connected to Bluetooth audio, it will mention right here. If not, you can just listen to the radio, which you can just press by either two of these buttons right here itself. So sorry, you have to go back to home first, channel, then or track, sorry. Okay, sorry. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Oops, my bad. Okay, I think I have to press mode. Yeah, you have to press mode, then to access the radio itself. But if not, you can just play around with the thing on the infotainment screen itself. So yeah, these 2 knobs right here is basically this to adjust the volume. This is to set the radio station that you want itself, either in FM or AM itself. So yeah, sorry. So you see right down below, I'll just be going through this quite fast. So basically, you got your climate control right here. This to adjust the fan speed itself. This to adjust the climate, and this for the auto climate itself. So basically, you guys do notice the fan speed is being just adjusted itself. And you got your AC button to turn on AC. This to recirculate air. This is to basically allow natural air into the car itself. This I still really haven't figured out, but I think it's basically to cool the interior of the car down, if I could say correctly. This is basically just adjust the airflow blowing towards you. And you got front and rear defrost, and this to completely turn off the AC itself. So yeah. Other than that, that's all for the car itself. And oh yeah, before I end off the video itself, let me just show you guys the... So basically, if you guys didn't know, this is the instrument gauge of the Yaris itself, which is quite unique itself. This somewhat reminds me of you know, the Minion goggle that the Minions wear. It's like something like that, which is quite unique itself. And also it's like somewhat like a pay tribute to like the old analog gauge, where usually there'll be two analog on the either side and there'll be a screen in the center. So this is like, I really like it that much. I really like it that Toyota really added this two unique touches to the Yaris Crossover itself. So yeah. And then oh yeah, and your power buttons right here, your stop buttons right here to turn on and turn off the car itself. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say for this car itself. Oh yeah, sorry. Also you got your sun visors right at the top. I almost forgot about sun visors, oh my god. But yeah, basically this is your sun visors right here. You got your mirror right here, which is very, very nice. You got this thing, your sun visor, which can be taken out and to adjust it accordingly. Then you also got this light switch right here, which you could turn on using by this button right here, or this button right here. The door button is basically the same as the center button right there, which I showed you guys just now. And the center button, the SOS, is only for emergency wise. So yeah, basically if you get enough an accident, then you probably will want to press that, or like in a serious accident where you fall off a cliff or whatever shit, I don't know. But you then definitely want to press that. Like not, technically it's being covered with this plastic cover, which you guys can see itself. So yeah, oh yeah, I almost forgot. No, actually I didn't. But yeah, basically that's all I say for this video itself. Let me just share just my overall thoughts and summary for this car right now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to show you guys one more thing, which is the indicators and the wipers controls for the car itself. So basically on your stock, on your left hand side, basically you got your main wipers, which is the front, and you also got your rear wipers, which is the one which I showed you guys just now on the outside. To adjust it, just basically this knot right here, which to adjust it. To adjust the main one on the front, you just need to lift up for just one swipe, one quick swipe, or all the way down for continuous swipe of the wipers itself. On the right hand side, which is normally on your Japanese car itself, will be your indicators, and you got your light switch right here, which to adjust manually or automatically itself, which the car will just turn on or turn off depending on the situation itself. To activate the high beams itself is just the other way around. To flash is just to pull back itself, and the same goes for the wiper itself. If you just want to wash it, you just pull back and the wipers will just wash it accordingly. And I think that's about it. That's the only thing I forgot to tell you guys just now. Other than that, that's all. Move on to the next segment. Alright then, so yeah, basically this is my overall thought and summary for the Toyota Yaris Crossover itself. What do I have to like about this car itself? Well, I really, one thing I can definitely say this Toyota, for Toyota SUV wise in the standard category itself, I would say this is much better than the Toyota Yaris that I have driven previously. So yeah, if you talk about just Toyota SUV in GetGo fleet, I would say this is much better than the Toyota Yaris in my opinion itself. So, but in terms of other SUV from other brands itself, I think this is not the best SUV that I've driven for standard category. Maybe the best so far I would say would be the Kona EV itself. So yeah, or the Kona hybrid, whatever you can call it. But my only complaint I have about this car is if you guys can see right there. So yeah, basically this is the only complaint. When you're driving on the road, then you want to adjust your window switches, you have to basically just reach out to adjust it like that in order to do so, rather than normally it'll be right here, but you have to reach it so far forward to adjust it, which I don't really like about the car itself. So that's my only setback for this car itself. But oh yeah, and also the getting in and out is also another problem I have about this car. I think the Toyota Yaris, I don't really have a big problem because I think the wheelbase is slightly longer. I could be wrong, but other than that, I think that's all I have to say. The company have to say about this car. And if you're asking me why I want to rent this car again, because it's not really in my area and I had to travel out like a few minutes. I think about 15 to 20 minutes out from my house. Probably not. I think probably if I want, I'll probably will rent for standard category wise or standard EV SUV category wise. Probably would be the Kona, because the Kona EV or the Kona hybrid, because I think in my opinion is much better looking and also much better to drive itself. So yeah, On that, that's all I say for this video itself. If you guys enjoy the video itself, do click the subscribe button down right below. See more videos like this, or click subscribe and click see my 2 other videos. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video.